The village of Okiri did not speak Nora's name anymore. Where once her beauty was sung in songs and praised at gatherings, now people crossed the path to avoid her. Children who had once danced around her skirts now hid behind their mothers, whispering, "Abomination." Neighbors closed their doors when she passed, their eyes full of pity, or worse, of disgust. Even in her husband's compound, silence pressed against her like a heavy shroud. Her groom, once so proud to hold her hand, now kept his distance. He ate alone. He slept far from her mat. And though he never raised his voice, his silence cut deeper than any insult. Nora understood. He loved the jewel the village had adored, not the broken shell that remained. At night, when the moon rose pale above the palm trees, the whispers began. They came like the rustling of dry leaves. Faint at first, as if carried by the wind. Then stronger, many voices, low and unearthly, weaving into her ears. Sometimes they called her name. Sometimes they sang in tongues older than memory. But always, they filled her hut until the air grew cold and the hairs on her arms bristled. One night, the whispers grew sharper, rising like the hiss of snakes. Nora's eyes flew open, and before her she saw a dream laid upon waking. She was in a forest of shadows. Serpents slithered across her feet, their scales cold against her skin. Coffins, half buried in the earth, cracked open to reveal skulls with hollow eyes. Fire licked the sky, burning trees to ash, yet the flames never touched her. And in the heart of it all, a voice spoke, not a whisper this time, but a command. Deep, old, and full of sorrow. Your beauty was never yours, child. It was borrowed. And it has been taken back. If you wish to reclaim it, you must seek what was lost. Go to the forbidden forest, where the dead and the living meet. There you will find the truth. Nora awoke drenched in sweat, her breath ragged. She trembled in the darkness of her hut, staring at the cracked mirror beside her mat. The face that looked back was not hers, it was a stranger's, scarred, ruined, hollow. The next morning, she went to the outskirts of the village, to the hut of the old seer, Ojidi. He was a man whose eyes were blind to the living but open to the unseen. He sat on a mat of woven raffia, his white hair wild as the savanna grass. When Nora entered, he did not ask her purpose. He only lifted his head and whispered. You heard them, didn't you? The ancestors. Nora's lips quivered. They told me to go. Ojidi nodded slowly, his pale eyes unblinking. The forest has been waiting for you, child. But remember, what you seek may not be what you find. The path of the cursed bride is heavy with blood. He tossed cowries onto the mat. They scattered into shapes she could not read, but his face grew grim. Leave this place. Leave your husband's home. The spirits will not rest until you walk the path. That night, Nora packed what little she had. Her hands shook as she folded her torn veil, the last memory of the day her life had shattered. She looked once at her sleeping husband, his back turned, his face in shadow. He did not stir. He did not stop her. And so, before the cock crowed, Nora stepped into the night. Her heart was heavy. Her face was hidden. And her footsteps led away from the world she had known, toward the darkness of the forbidden forest. The whispers followed her, soft and insistent, carrying her into destiny.